Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Matt Tedder, and you are listening to the Keegan Mcinroe Radio Hour. All right.
Gonna take a little piss when I go.
Howdy, friends, and welcome to this 18th edition of Season 3 of the Keegan Mcinroe Radio Hour. And I only mention it because it's the last one of 2018. And so I'm quite excited to have a break from my two listeners here. And I have an exciting show today. I'm here at Maine at Southside in Fort Worth, Texas, with we don't know each other very well, but I consider Cody a friend for sure. Cody Lynn Boyd, and I'm going to get to know him better here as we go along. I want to thank my buddy Matt Tedder for that recycled introduction. It's as good as it was the night that you spit it at me, buddy. Thank you to 97.5 KFTW, the Pirate, to shipping and receiving, to Fort Worth Live, and to Shake Music Zine for putting this up on the interwebs afterwards for everybody to be able to find and stream, etc. So yeah, got a pretty fun show, I think. It's always nice to talk to somebody that you know, and when you're interviewing them, you can talk about like stories that you have together. But it's really nice to talk to somebody you don't know that you kind of know, because then you get to kind of figure things out and ask some questions that maybe a person might have in the back of their brain at some point that doesn't make sense over a vodka and soda at a bar with loud music to say, so Cody, let me ask you about this time that you had a woman in the bathtub, or something like this, for instance. Anyway, so Cody's sitting here with me, but well, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here. So like I said, we're at Maine at Southside, and on Halloween Day, October 31st, I think that's the last day that this show will air new episodes this season, and also the day that I'm going to be putting on a Tom Waits show, a tribute show with a bunch of guys, and friends of mine from Berlin will be in town, called the Trouble Notes. They're really awesome. And then they do like a lot of street busking and things around Europe, as well as festivals and shows. And then Matt Tedder's trio is going to play that night. What are you doing on Halloween night? Do you have a show somewhere?
I'm probably going to scare some kids or something like that.
Yeah, scare some kids and then maybe come up here and sing a Tom Waits song with me or something.
Maybe. That'd be nice.
That'd be fun.
I
can't believe you don't already have like your own festival on Halloween.
I know, right?
Hey, that's
maybe
a good
one
idea.
day, though.
Maybe we should talk about this. Okay.
Right.
So I'd like to kick out the show with a Tom Waits song. And this is a Tedder request, so we're going all the way full circle. And then one of a series of 3 singles that Cody released, I'm going to play. It's called I Played With Fire. And then we'll come back and have an interview with Mr. Cody Lynn Boyd.
I wish for rain.
All right, friends, welcome back to the Keegan Mcinroe Radio Hour. My name is Keegan Mcinroe, and I am here with my friend Cody Lynn Boyd, and that was I Played With Fire. Hey, Cody.
Hi.
Well, it's kind of a gray day, kind of a coldish day, a rainy day here in Fort Worth, which is perfect for us. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing the fall is probably amongst your favorite seasons.
I like it. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
And Halloween, you have the gray weather.
Yeah, I like Halloween. Yeah.
The fall is my favorite season of the year, so I'm quite happy that we're shifting into an actual little bit of a cold front, maybe. So we don't know each other well. We talked about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to know you a little better, and let people here in Fort Worth get to know you a little better.
Awesome.
We talked a little bit about it, but you're from Galveston, or you were born in Galveston.
I was actually born in a town called Bedford.
Okay.
That's actually close to here.
Yeah, Bedford.
And then when I was like 1 or 2, I moved to Galveston.
Okay.
So as a child, I was raised in Galveston.
Okay.
But pretty much,
you're
might as well.
basically born in the DFW area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like a destiny that you're back in the DFW, like what Kanye West called the hero's journey.
I'm not sure.
Kanye West referenced the hero, the archetypical hero's journey in a meeting with Donald Trump the other day. This is real life. This isn't.
Okay.
This is real life.
Oh, I
Stuff.
thought you were talking about the Twilight Zone for a second.
Oh well, you never know. The line has been blurred so much so that it's possible. Anything's possible now.
Yeah.
All bets are off pretty much. And you started playing music around here about how long ago?
When I was about 16, 15.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that.
See, I became aware of you through Joshua Ryan Jones.
Okay, cool.
Who I've played a little bit of music with and has been a friend of mine for a while. But I was at one of the open mics they had at Live Oak.
Mm-hmm.
There on Lipscomb.
Yeah.
And that's when I met you for the first time.
That's right. I met your friends too.
Yeah, I had some friends with me. I think
Yeah.
maybe Dan and Jared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jared's done one of my intros for this radio show. He told me to get off his couch.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's nice people were with me.
Yeah, they are nice.
But yeah, that was my first time to meet you. Thought you were a super nice guy and super talented.
Thank you.
And Josh was super super high on you. And I love Josh and I trust Josh. So I was like, cool, if Josh likes him, then he's bound to be good before I saw you. But then I was, I got to actually see you. And then Josh was involved somehow or another, wasn't he, on the recording of these 3 tracks that you did in Audio Styles?
Yeah, in Dripping Springs.
Dripping
Taylor
Springs.
Tash.
Taylor Tash, yep.
Taylor Tash and Joshua Ryan Jones produced it.
Okay, so Josh was the producer on it.
Yeah, Josh and Taylor.
Josh and Taylor. Okay, cool.
Mm.
Yeah, I've worked with Taylor, and he's great, and worked with Josh, and the songs sound great. I was saying as we were listening to that Gin-Soaked Boy by Tom Waits going to your I Played With Fire. It was a really nice movement, and you didn't miss a step there with Tom's. That's great. It sounds really good though.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. These 3 songs. So you don't have an album out.
No, not yet.
Or not an EP or anything. So you just released these 3 songs, and you kind of staggered it as well. Yeah, you released one and then waited
Yeah, a little gap. Mm-hmm.
little gap
For each one, yeah.
Okay. How long a gap would you say?
2 or 3 months,
2 or
if
3
I had to
months.
guess, roughly.
So there was I Played With Fire, and then another one called Made of Stone,
Mm-hmm.
and then another one called I'm Gonna Give You Anything.
Yes.
Which you have a really cool video out for.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna give you anything. I have it written as on my notes here. I'm gonna you anything.
I'm gonna you anything.
I'm gonna you anything. What? I don't know. So okay, so that was a source of a little confusion for me there. But they sound great. And then is there a plan to release more singles? Is there a plan to do an EP now? Are you writing for anything?
I plan to release another single, possibly in late November, early December.
From the same sessions?
Same sessions.
Taylor Touch?
Yes.
Was this done in like one big?
It was done over time.
Over time?
I would say a year.
Okay.
But not by actual time. We just
Gotcha.
kind of recorded a couple,
Yeah.
waited, recorded a couple.
The guerrilla style approach to recording.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I love the Gorillas.
Yeah. Well, no, not that.
Oh.
I meant like the militia kind of way where you don't the guerrilla style tactics of fighting.
Oh,
where,
really?
That's how we won. America won the Revolutionary War. Right? Was the British were lining up in columns and they would just come in and they would take their shots when they could.
Oh, so maybe I'm doing something right.
No, I think so. Yeah, you're gonna beat the British anyway.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know what that means, but the guerrilla idea would be that you just that's how I refer to it when you don't get it all in one block. You kind of go in and out as you're able to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, today you can come over and get 3 hours in a mandolin player or something like that over at the house. I've done many of those things. Not as easy to go over for 3 hours when he's in Dripping Springs, but anyway, yeah. So Taylor's great, and so y'all got several in the can.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That haven't been released yet.
Yeah, they haven't been released. They've been tracked out and everything.
So here's an interesting question: why go with a series of singles versus putting them out as a whole on an EP or on an album?
I feel like, I'm kind of just brainstorming, being, I guess not technically a new artist, but a new artist that's putting stuff out. I kind of want to, I guess, treat each song like an album in just the aspect of releasing. Just because I'm starting out, I feel like I don't have that much credibility right now for me to release an album, and I feel like once I release it, I won't really have like a lot of fans or a lot of listeners. So I feel like just kind of giving it more stamina possibly might be right. I could be completely wrong.
No, I think it's I think this is, I mean, I'm not that, you know, aware of what most of these have in music anyway. But I think this is bound to be the direction, right? Is that like, with the exception of vinyl records, like my car doesn't come with a CD player. My this laptop doesn't have a CD player in it, you know, CD drive. The CD's becoming kind of obsolete. And if it wasn't for vinyl, that format, the album, I mean, that wouldn't even make any sense really, because everything's digital now. So you just get you just get the one song. People aren't really getting albums probably as they have been in the past. Probably it's more just the single.
Right.
So by doing I think it's a pretty smart idea, and I think it's bound to be the direction that things have gone anyway, right? With just these kind of
maybe, yeah. The record is already on the phone.
Well, I think
it's all put together.
Right. Well, and the other thing is that there was an actual limit on information from technology, right? Like you just couldn't have more than what would fit on the physical thing, the analog, you know, like representation. Now it's infinite. I think that's the thing. It's like, what does an album even have to mean now? And it could be an 8-day event. You know, you could just have an endless loop running, and this is my the album of my Saturday,
or a collection of a year or 2 years.
Yeah, it does. So it's an interesting thing, because the album is a construct, of course, that we, you know, that was largely shaped by what the technology would allow. An album's about an hour, because that's, you know, or half an hour if it's more radio. Anyway, interesting how things are going. Yeah. Interesting approach to doing this. I think it's really really cool, and I think you're right, because had you released an album, this is the other cool thing about it. Had you released an album, maybe people hear the single off the album, but they don't hear the other songs. You're giving them all the songs one at a time, over time. So you probably have a better chance that somebody's actually going to listen to each of these songs than if you just put out an album.
Perhaps, yeah, it's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
I'm just brainstorming. You
yeah,
know.
I think it's really smart. You know?
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't realize until we sat down here and I was setting up the situation for us to do this, for us to have this interview, that you'd only put out the 3 songs. And they were. I thought you put out an EP originally or something, but so I'm learning as we go. Oh, awesome! And I think that's really I think it's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about it and we've been talking about it, we ought to play another one of these songs. This next song is called "Made of Stone," and it was the second of the 3 songs that you released. Do you want to say anything about the song as a setup? Do you want to say anything about the last song?
They can listen to it, I guess.
Yeah? Okay. Well, here is Mr. Cody Lynn Boyd and "Made of Stone," and then we'll come back and we'll have some more conversing.
I'm made of stone. I'm made of stone.
All right, friends, there's another track from Mr. Cody Lynn Boyd, and you're listening to the Keegan Mcinroe Radio Hour. And we're here at the Main at Southside music venue on Main Street, and they began playing some really groovy music behind this interview.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty groovy.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to Josh, and he was like, "Oh, come up here on Monday. It's always dead." And I was like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "There won't be anybody here during the day, and I work happy hour. There's nobody in there." I was like, "Cool. It'd be a perfect place to do it." And now we got a funky soundtrack.
Yeah, it's getting pretty groovy out here.
Pretty groovy, for sure. That song "Made of Stone" is I don't know that I would call it maybe spooky groovy. It's got a groove for sure.
Maybe, yeah.
But
sure.
But I wasn't thinking groovy when I was listening to it. But it's a really cool song.
Thank you.
Where would you say the musical influences lie heaviest for you?
I feel like it's a big mixture of a lot of things. I guess for themes of music, I think I kind of got that from listening to a lot of musicals like Mary Poppins and Pete's Dragon, and like Aristocats, a lot of Disney stuff.
Oh, right
so
on.
it always had like a theme to it. So when I write songs, I always like it to have like a concept, at least most of the time.
Yeah.
And maybe not most of the time, at least sometimes. But and then I used to sing to those songs, like all those Disney songs, and then I started writing because I was introduced to Bob Dylan's work, and that kind of got me into writing my own stuff and everything. So
okay, yeah. Yeah, Bob Dylan's his you were talking about his early stuff that you were a bigger fan of.
Yeah.
And yeah, that early stuff, man, you listen to it and it's almost just it just makes you want to start creating something. You know, it's so and watching interviews with him at the time as well. He's just it's contagious spirit, something about it.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Have you seen the documentary that he did, or that they did on him, Scorsese? What's it called? Not Bringing It Home. You know what I'm talking about? It was like 4 hours long. It was.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's really good. I can't think of the name of it right now. I could look it up, but is that music distracting you?
It's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I think we're close enough to the mics where it's not going to be a problem. But I got headphones on. I can hear it pretty well. But anyway, so the early Bob Dylan got you writing, and you said you started performing about 15 or 16.
I started writing when I was 15 or 16.
Writing
and
when you
then
were 15, 16.
I started performing about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I probably met you about a year and
around
a half,
that time.
around that time frame then, right? Because I mean, I'm not out and about a lot, but I hadn't heard you, and then Josh was talking about you, and there you were, and that was the first time I met you, and now you got these 3 singles out. We just listened to the second one, which is Made of Stone, and you had a show here at Maine at Southside recently.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was with a band, my first band.
The first band gig.
Yeah, first band gig.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it was pretty nice.
Oh, nice. How'd it go?
It was fun.
I was out of town. I wasn't able to make that.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah.
There'll be more.
Oh,
so.
yeah, for sure. Well, that's great. That's great. And is there a name for the band, or is it just?
I just go by my name, just
Okay,
like
cool.
I guess how Bob Dylan works, or Tom Waits, singer-songwriter. Then find a band
Sure.
that plays the songs with you and stuff.
There you go.
So yeah.
So you want to have you put a band together, a particular set group of guys, or are you looking, or girls, or? Are you looking
my producer Joshua Ryan Jones helped find bands and
right on.
everything, and he
Josh is great.
Yeah, he printed up the songs I wrote and kind of helped them learn the songs, and so we've been playing and stuff.
Oh, that's
it's been
awesome,
great.
man.
Yeah.
Great. So for those that may not know Cody, or may not have seen Cody, you have a particular, a distinct. Would you call it? I mean, it's not a trademark, but there's a. You're often wearing dark colors, black in particular.
Yeah, I just wear black turtlenecks every day.
Do you wear them every day?
Every day.
I didn't want to assume that, but I've seen mostly that was what you were in.
Yeah, I just wear that
Okay.
every day. Black jeans, black
Probably
boots.
not going to find you in like a multicolored parka.
Maybe for a special
Maybe
occasion.
Okay. Maybe in the distant future. When,
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long has it been every day?
I think about 2 years.
Yeah?
I kind of got tired of just thinking about what I'm going to wear, and I just bought like 50 black turtlenecks and 4 or 5 pairs of black jeans and some black boots, and I just kind of been doing that,
That'll be it.
Yeah, and it kind of saves time for me, and I guess it kind of maybe helps with my nostalgia with cartoons, because when you like watch cartoons, they always wear the same thing, or when you look in their closets, Shaggy has the green V-neck and down the row or something.
Right,
So
yeah.
I kind of like that too.
I
so
hadn't made that connection. Well, see, actually, I make the joke quite a bit that I'm like a cartoon character when I'm in Europe, because I have like, 2 pairs of jeans and like 4 or 5 shirts that I wear over and over and over again. But that's nothing compared to what you're doing. You're doing it no matter where you are every day. That's pretty interesting.
cool.
Cartoon character.
Yeah, a little cartoon character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have no idea what they're listening to.
I don't.
I was asking if it was,
I don't know.
distracting, and it wasn't, but it just got louder.
It's getting
Much
crazy
fun.
out there.
Yeah. Why don't we break for a song by who? Who should we play right now?
Artists?
Yeah, well, not the one we talked about earlier, but something that could seg from this to that.
Ooh, the Monster Mash?
Monster Mash, perfect.
Yeah, we need Monster Mash.
Okay, we're gonna play the Monster Mash, and then we'll be right back. I'm gonna see how much this is bleeding into our interview. Okay, there's the Monster Mash to save us from what was happening before. Welcome back to the Keegan Mcinroe Radio Hour. I'm here with Cody Lynn Boyd, and we're at Maine at Southside in kind of the backstage area, and they're having an open mic night.
Mm-hmm.
And so somebody had got up there and was like a what'd you call it, like screamo folk or something?
A werewolf folk or
Yeah.
something like that.
I guess he's up here quite a bit. And now there's a stand-up comedian, much more conducive to radio. Although the distraction now is going to be not to listen to what he's saying, but to
Be
listen to each other.
multitasking.
But we can do it. I have faith in this. So, like I said, I'm here with Cody Lynn Boyd, a songwriter here in Fort Worth, who has put out 3 songs recently with Taylor Tatch and Joshua Jones. I guess we were talking before the noise about the style, the turtlenecks, the black everything. Now, did the because you have an affinity for like the, how do you say it, the macabre? Yeah, like
The what?
The like kind of you have a taste for kind of
Spooky
like
stuff?
the horror films and the kind of dark what would you call it? You explain it.
Spooky stuff.
Spooky
Yeah,
stuff.
like Scooby-Doo,
Yeah.
Twilight Zone,
Yeah,
Courage
spooky
Cowardly
stuff.
Dog, you
Yeah.
know, and like all those spooky stuff.
Yeah.
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 I think I like it a lot because I feel like modern day, at least in some places, of course, in America, but I think being scared with people is, I feel like a nice feeling, because it's like, I feel like it creates communion. It kind of like back to
for
like
sure.
tribal days, if you're like running from like a predator and you survive,
sure.
you know. So I feel like
Our government does that to us all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know. I think being scared with friends that you care about, or telling ghost stories at night.
Sure.
That type of feeling.
Yeah,
I
that
know.
little bit of the heebie-jeebies. You like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that's like
a
my
little bit
favorite
of-
thing
yeah,
ever.
A little bit of goosey flesh, and you're like, yeah.
Goosebumpy, you know,
Yeah.
R.L. Stein, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, right on, man. Well, me and one of my mom, who I actually have interviewed on this for this show,
Mm-hmm.
we love watching scary movies. Like
Mm-hmm.
when we hang out together, that's what we do. We watch scary movies.
What's your
So yeah,
favorite
there
one?
is something to that. And she's at, what's that now?
What's your favorite horror film?
Oh, that's a good question. See, I'm not an aficionado, but I would say probably The Shining.
Oh, sweet. That's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, I
Kubrick's
mean-
great. Yeah.
Well, everything is just perfect, and Jack Nicholson is just insane.
Oh yeah.
So it's hard for me to think of anything that's like that I enjoy more than that.
Nice.
You know. Yeah, and I've actually I have several ghost stories and things. I mean, like that whole bit, like my growing up, my whole family and different things. I mean, all kinds of weird kind of stuff. You know?
Nice.
So I can relate to that a bit.
Awesome.
Maybe I should start buying black turtle. Maybe it'll catch on. Then it probably wouldn't be any good anymore. You'd probably have to find a different color.
Maybe, perhaps. Let's
Yeah.
wear rainbow turtlenecks
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's interesting. So, do you think that that's just you like black, you like spooky stuff? You didn't start liking spooky stuff because you bought black turtlenecks?
No.
Okay.
I've always liked spooky stuff. I grew up watching like Halloween specials of like
Okay.
cartoons, like Hey
Like-
Arnold,
okay.
and cartoons like that. And
Do you remember USA Up All Night?
no, I do
Did
not.
you ever see that?
Okay.
They used to play. Anyway, that's a long time ago on USA Network. But okay, so you were talking about Hey Arnold. Is that spooky?
No, well, the Halloween specials. I grew up watching like the
okay,
Halloween
like the
specials of like
Simpsons. Yeah.
Simpsons. Oh,
Yeah, they have the
that one's
famous- yeah,
great as
okay.
well. And also just the ones that are always spooky, like Courage Cowardly Dog and Scooby Doo. It's kind of
Yeah.
consistent. Or the Twilight
Yeah.
Zone, not cartoon,
Yeah.
but still spooky stuff is what made me kind of love it.
Did you ever see? I don't know if it was the Twilight Zone, but it was I think it was Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Yeah, that one was
Did you
great
see
as well.
the one I saw it only one time when I was a kid, and it freaked me out so bad, and I hated dolls for the rest of my life. The Dummy.
Oh,
or
yes.
something, and like
Yes.
you remember the sound he made as he like
Oh yeah,
moved
that
his
one's a
little feet
good
across
one.
the floor?
Hmm.
Oh my God, I haven't seen it since. It scared me so bad, and my step siblings at the time, I can't remember how old I was when I saw it, but I was pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
They would rub their feet on the floor like that.
Oh,
They would
wow.
come on down the hallway at me, and it just scared the bejesus out of me. Oh my God, I forgot about that till just now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good. All kinds of crazy things happened in that house anyway, and so that was kind of Like it could have been something, you know.
Right.
It just happened to
Just
be them
layered
messing
on
with
the
me.
spookiness.
But yeah, that was such a spooky movie, The Dummy. So I guess Alfred Hitchcock would probably be somebody that you enjoy.
Oh, Psycho is one of my favorite
Yeah.
films as well. Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of film, we're gonna play the song that you did in a minute called "I'm Gonna Give You Everything."
Anything.
Anything.
Same thing though.
No, but it's interesting. Why choose the word anything over everything? Is there a
I don't know.
just because it has a little different? It hits the ear a little different.
Maybe. I just when I wrote it, it just came out like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I sometimes when I'm writing, I make a conscious decision to put a slight twist on something they may normally say this way, and it just to break up what you expect to hear. I think sometimes, or maybe unconsciously, it happens as well.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I like that. Makes you think about it more. Like, what does he mean by that? Why did he change it? What's he driving at? But Cody's not saying anything. He's just well, I just liked it. That's all. So you have to figure it out, interpret it yourself. And we were talking about that artistic stuff. When you put something out, kind of losing control over how it's viewed and interpreted. We were talking about a picture that you posted on the interweb.
Oh yeah, the Halloween
Internet.
picture.
Yeah,
the
the
spooky
Halloween
picture.
Yeah, the spooky picture. The horror picture.
Yeah.
It was like a scene from a horror film.
Yeah.
Without the context.
Yeah, it was like a Psycho kind of like influenced photo. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was very compelling, which is part of what art is after all.
Yeah.
It's extremely compelling.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right? I mean, like, you have to, if you see it, you're going to go, what is going on here?
Oh.
Man with, you know.
Oh, yeah, the chocolate syrup.
Well, you don't know it's chocolate syrup, it's black and white.
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty convincing as blood.
Yeah, I think Alfred Hitchcock used that in his film.
Did he?
Yeah.
See, I had heard something about chocolate syrup before. Maybe that's where I heard it.
I think it makes it look thicker. Or
Okay.
it looks better on the camera. But I'm not
Okay.
too sure. I could have been told wrong. You never know
Well,
what's right or wrong
Nobody's
in
listening
articles.
to this anyway.
Right.
Except for our future selves, perhaps. Just joking, of course. The billions of listeners by the time this reaches someone's ears. But anyway, I got sidetracked by the photo. But the video you did for the song is quite good, and it was primarily shot by you. It was edited by you and directed by you. And we talked a little bit about before. You drove to New Orleans for this?
Yeah, I went to New Orleans with some friends, and I got some footage of the swamps and stuff like that. And I also went to some places in Texas, including the Baker's Hotel, which is one of my favorite places to go to. It's like an old hotel from like the early 1900s. The Three Stooges, Marilyn Monroe, a lot of the old celebrities have stayed there.
This is the Baker Hotel?
The Baker Hotel, yeah.
Where's it at?
And it's in Mineral Wells, Texas.
In Mineral Wells?
Yeah, it's abandoned, but it's a beautiful place.
Oh, really?
It's a really great place.
Okay.
It's always on like the most top haunted places in America. So it's always up there at some number. So I went there a while back, and I go there every so often. You're not allowed to go though, but it's a pretty place.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out because my mom lives in Dublin, Texas, which you just you exit the other way on, what is it, 281 or 280?
I'm not sure.
7 there off of I-20. Yeah, we talked about directions earlier. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm terrible with directions.
But anyway, so yeah, there's the trip to Mineral Wells. Sorry, the Baker Motel.
Baker Hotel.
Baker Hotel. It's got some stuff there, but New Orleans was for the swamps and also for
swamps and some like city stuff, some city shots of me being a mime and stuff like that.
Yeah, a creepy mime.
Yeah,
it's pretty creepy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that what you're? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like mimes. They're
Yeah.
good. Robin Williams was a mime.
He was.
Yeah.
Was he a mime for a profession?
I'm not too sure. I seen a photo of him. I thought he looked great as a mime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was, but the videos, it's very good.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, and you, I guess, do you want to explain anything about the song or the video, how the two things married in your head, anything of the creative process?
I guess I wrote the song about people taking advantage of you, and it's kind of like in the perspective of the person taking advantage of somebody, and I guess tricking you into something that you think you want but you really don't want.
Interesting.
Or the devil that goes to New Orleans and you sell your soul to him.
Right.
It could be that as
Or
well.
the crossroads in Mississippi.
Yeah.
There's speaking of weird things, it'll kind of like, ooh. So this one time I was in, I'll offer this. I played a show in Utrecht, which is just south of Amsterdam in the Netherlands. And I played with this band that was, I think they were from maybe Colombia. And before I played this old Robert Johnson song, which actually we were talking about. And of course, Robert Johnson, and I told the story, famously goes down to the crossroads of Mississippi, makes a deal with the devil to become a great blues man, sells his soul, and blah, blah. And then he's poisoned by a jealous husband, as the story goes. His oatmeal is poisoned, and he dies at the ripe old age of 27,
Oh, man.
The charter member of the 27 Club.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't know that he was the charter member at the time, and I got done with that story, and I said he died at the ripe old age of 27. And I walked outside, and we were smoking. And one of the guys asked me, he says, or I didn't even say he was born at 27. He's the guy that I was smoking with said, so did he die at 27? And I didn't, and I said, I don't know. But if he did, I said they should put him on the poster. And we kind of laughed about it. Well, anyway, I was probably 31 or 2 at the time. Had no idea that Robert Johnson died at 27. So I go back to Amsterdam. I'm staying in this hostel, and I check into my hostel. And I turn around, and there's an enormous mural covering the entire wall of the 27 Club.
Oh, wow.
And there in the direct center, sitting on a stool, grinning at me, is Robert Johnson, like looking over that, that famous picture of him with the guitar in his lap. I had made it my entire life without knowing that he died at 27. And then I made the joke. And then I go to Amsterdam and turn around. What are the odds? Crazy. I got goosebumps when it happened.
Oh,
I was
man.
like, whoa. I didn't know what it meant. Am I going to die here tonight? Like, what does that mean when that happens?
Maybe there was like those eye holes through the picture. And they're looking at you.
You see, now that's the thing. The eyes were creepy. And I thought, man, what is going on? Have I stepped into the seat? Amsterdam's funny. And psychedelics are funny. And so sometimes you might maybe just slip into a wormhole and you don't even realize it. What was going on there with Robert Johnson? I don't know. But it's good that we're talking about it because this will probably air around. The last one I think will be on Halloween.
Okay,
so that's
cool.
kind of a Halloween story. Do you have a spooky story that you'd like to tell for Halloween?
A spooky story?
Yeah, I just put you on the spot. I didn't prepare you at all for this.
I kind of have a terribly written story I wrote in my head about a couple nights ago, but I don't know if
Okay.
it's that good enough.
Well, maybe it is. I'm sure that it is. But the question in my head is, have you had experiences?
Oh, in real life.
In real
Oh,
life.
okay.
Have you had that thing I'm talking about with that's a little weird synchronicity, but maybe that's not exactly like as far down as the rabbit hole goes. Like have you had experiences that have deepened your interest, curiosity?
I've had one experience
with ghosts or hauntings or anything.
It was when I was, I think, in elementary school, perhaps 4th or 3rd grade. There's these two about, I think they're about half a foot tall Elvis dolls, and there's 2 of them. And I was sleeping on a bunk bed because my brother was sleeping in the same room as me, and I heard this big like noise, and I heard glass break. And then I was scared to check what it was, and I waited about 30 minutes, and I couldn't wait any longer, and I got curious, and I turned the lights on, and there was a Elvis doll choking the other Elvis doll on the floor, and I'm pretty sure it was my father playing a trick on me, or perhaps my brother. I'm assuming my father more, but it freaked me out.
That would freak me out.
It freaked me out.
Yeah, that would freak me out too.
Yeah.
Elvis on Elvis.
Yeah, Elvis choking Elvis.
Well, that could be your first. That could be your first movie.
Maybe.
I mean, Elvis is still popular. You know, just like a couple of zombie Elvis impersonators in an eternal struggle.
You never know.
Over the chops.
It could happen.
It could happen. That is creepy. I wouldn't want to wake up to that. Yeah, but probably. I mean, were there any other times that they moved around?
No, just that one night.
Just the one night.
Just the one night.
Okay. Well, if it was a habit, then maybe you begin to think maybe they're actually possessed dolls or something.
Yeah, right. Like Puppet Master.
Right. Yeah. But the one time, probably a family member.
Perhaps. I hope.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's don't. let's don't make a commitment on whether or not that has any truth to it or not. Okay. That's a pretty good Halloween story. That one works. How long would you guess is the story that you wrote?
Oh, too long.
Too long?
Probably too long. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe,
we got
maybe
about
for another
3.5
conversation.
minutes before.
What about you? Tell me your scariest dream you've ever had, or nightmare.
The scariest dream?
What's the most scariest nightmare you've ever had?
Okay, I'll tell you the one that popped to my head, and then you got to tell me yours. We got
Okay.
about 3 minutes.
Okay.
So, and I think this was like it was around Christmas Eve. And I was really little, and I was on one of those bunk beds like you're talking about, and I had a dream that Santa Claus was collecting and murdering kittens.
Oh my
And he had a
gosh.
basket full of dead kittens. And he like looked at me, and he had this crazy like evil smile, and he had like an axe, blood dripping axe in his hand.
Oh no.
That was maybe one of the most terrifying nights. It was the one that came to mind immediately when you told me, when you asked the question.
Oh man, that's scary.
And I can see it now in my head as I'm talking about it. It was terrifying.
Oh, I bet.
And I was at the age where, like Santa Claus might have still been real.
Right.
And I wasn't quite sure yet.
It makes it even scarier.
Yeah, that makes it even scarier.
That's like
'cause
Krampus or something.
That son of a gun's coming down the chimney.
Yeah.
And what if he's not looking for cookies?
Right.
And it may have had something to do with. I think it might have been around the time there was one Christmas, and this might have been the one where a cat that I had. I didn't find out how he died until later. It was either Dobermans or Rottweilers. But it was like I came home and the cat wasn't there, and they were like, "Well, he's I don't know where he's at," and I was looking for him, and they lied to me for a while, and finally they said, "Okay, well, dogs killed your cat."
Oh, that's sad. Oh.
So maybe that was around that time.
Oh, that makes it even scarier.
I know. So what about you? What's your scariest nightmare?
I woke up and I was on the top of the bunk bed, and my brother was on the below, and I looked down. This is my dream. I think I'm not dreaming, and his head pops up and he has glowing yellow eyes.
Oh man.
So I run away, and this is all in slow motion. And then I jump in my parents' bed for safety, and then I look to my left and my right. Both my parents have glowing yellow eyes.
Oh.
So then I run into the front yard and I try to scream, and my voice is mute, and I end up waking up in a sweat.
Oh. Yeah, like you said, slow motion. Your voice is mute. What is it about dreams when you need your when you need your skills the most?
I know, right?
They disappear.
Yeah.
The bullet won't fire. The gun won't fire the bullet. Damn it! I'm gonna have to edit that out. I've done so good about not cursing. Anyway, they never work when they're supposed to in the dream. Your legs, your arms, your fists.
Right. Car doesn't start.
Yeah. Do you ever have those? Do you have any other? What do you do for a living other than music? Anything?
I'm a barista.
Okay. Do you ever have the dream where you're like brewing a cup of coffee, but it won't ever finish, and you got like the lines getting longer and longer, and there's 100 people sitting down? It's like the worst.
A few
dream.
times I've
God,
had
those
busy
are the worst dreams,
nightmares.
right?
Yeah.
So bad. Okay. Well, we've pretty much eaten up our time here.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, because I would like to hear that. Well, I can hear it outside of this interview. If you would like to hear more about Mr. Cody Lynn Boyd, you can go to.
Just type in my name.
Yep.
Anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's online.
Instagram.
Check these songs
Facebook,
out. Check the
YouTube.
video out. I'm gonna give you anything. Is that it? Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you anything. So here it is. Happy October. Happy Halloween. Thank you for being here with me, Cody.
Thank you very much. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, and the music got funky again.
Oh yeah.
All right, here's the man.